GWP Eastern Africa was established in May 2003. Its mandate is to support sustainable development and management of water resources at all levels in Eastern and Greater Horn of Africa. In terms of its governance, it is governed by the Consulting Partners Meeting as the overall and highest decision-making body. Below this is Regional Steering Committee, which oversees and approves GWP Eastern Africa's action plans, budgets, and programmatic activities. It is composed of 8 countries, which are Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Kenya, Egypt, Ethiopia, Sudan, and Eritrea. This year, 2013, GWP Eastern Africa has made 10 years. How did it start? With what resources and with what challenges?
GWP Eastern Africa started off 10 years ago with very, very few partners and was kindly hosted by the Nile Basin Secretariat in Entebbe in Uganda. And with a very limited budget, at that time it was only about $150,000. The partnership has grown to the extent now it covers all the Nile Basin countries.
In 2007, that's when I was transferred here. And that was a time I think I started getting involved with GWP. And GWP's aims were coinciding with the aims and the reforms that were to be done in the Directorate of Water Resources Management, specifically on the integrated water resources management.
It was difficult for many stakeholders to understand the concept of a network. People are familiar with NGOs, non-governmental organizations. They know what they do. They're familiar with community-based organizations. They know what they do. They also know about international research organizations, such as ILRI, ICRAF, and they're also familiar with the UN agencies. But now this new form of platform, a network, a loose network, it wasn't clear to them how it would deliver, what it would manage, how it would work, what kind of personnel it would have, and especially because it was supposed to be regional, it was very problematic for them to understand.
Since then, GWP Eastern Africa made significant strides. It has contributed towards enhancing livelihoods in the region through sustainable water resources management, promoting dialogue, knowledge management, and communication, building capacities and skills for effective piloting, planning and development, monitoring of programs, policies, and plans.
We've been supporting those countries to make sure that in the water resource management policies, there is consideration of IWRM approach, means integrated water resource management approach, to make sure that all actors, from public, private, civil society, they have a stake and contribute in the integrated resource management of water at all levels.
The key successes of GWP Eastern Africa was the role it played in supporting national IWRM planning. In Rwanda, in Burundi, a national IWRM plan was supported and developed. And also in Ethiopia, the process for developing national IWRM plan was facilitated by Global Water Partnership.
More than 50 young people have been trained in different aspects of water resource management.
Realizing the above achievements required the GWP Eastern Africa team to work hard so that GWP strategy, programs, and projects are effectively implemented. Some of these programs and projects include Water and Climate Development Program, adapting to climate change-induced water stress in the Nile River Basin project, climate resilience in the Mount Elgon. Sustainable management of water resources requires effective partnerships with different stakeholders at all levels. These include civil society organizations, policy makers, water professionals, youth cooperatives, media, academia, and women associations. The role of women in promoting a water-secure world in the region cannot be underestimated.
Uyu mushinga waje ari igisubizo ku bagore mu by'ukuri kuko iyo urebye neza imikorere ugasesengura neza ingamba z'uyu mushinga usanga zisubiza bya bibazo byose umugore yarahanganye nabyo kuko iyo ukurikiranye imibereho y'abanyarwanda bo mu cyaro cyangwa se abanyarwandakazi bo mu cyaro niwe uhanganye na rya bura ry'amazi, niwe uhanganye no kubura kw'inkwi, niwe uhanganye n'icyo cyose cyabaho gihungabanya urugo. Kandi ugasanga noneho uyu mushinga uzaza urimo na gahunda z'iterambere zishobora gufasha umugore kuba yabona na wa mwanya, azabasha kubona umwanya uhagije kuko azaba yawubitse nimba adafite ikibazo cyo kubura amazi ngo afate umwanya wo kwirirwa yagiye kuvoma, n'abana bazabasha kwiga n'iterambere ry'urugo rizagaragarira aho ngaho kuko afite umwanya uhagije yakuye ku bikorwa bya GWP.
GWP Eastern Africa is celebrating 10 years of exciting and rewarding experiences. But what are the current challenges the Secretariat is facing?
The biggest challenge over the past years for GWP Eastern Africa is in terms of changing the mindset of the people.
Strengthening country water partnership is one of the key priorities of GWP Eastern Africa in the next 5 years. Members of these country water partnerships do cite some of the challenges.
We have faced to lack of financial means.
Country water partnership, Kenya, I think is somehow is doing something because it is supported by certain NGOs. Another one that is doing well is Egypt water partnership. I think it is also doing well because it is an establishment, secretariat and everything, and it is funded by the government. So those are the things that has made them a bit more. But for the others, they are not doing very well, and they will only depend on projects funding that is coming from projects like WACDEP has helped Rwanda and Burundi.
People, they were expecting too much from our intervention, particularly considering integrated water resource management as a kind of a very quick tool to fix some of the challenges they have.
They are having high expectation on WACDEP, as if WACDEP will solve all the problems. No. For us, we want to catalyze the change and to make people aware of what is happening in Bugesera in terms of water security, food security, and climate resilience.
But GWP Eastern Africa has been granted intergovernmental and diplomatic status by the government of Uganda. Now, that is very significant. Very, very significant. It shows the recognition and the appreciation of the role that the water partnership plays in the region. It is the first GWP region from all the GWP 13 regions all over the world to get that status. So we're very, very pleased with this, and the relationship and the friendship that we have enjoyed, the partnership with the Nile Basin Secretariat has really been very impressive.
We came up with the host institution agreement. I see that as an achievement that has been made by GWP Eastern Africa. In that we now can be independent. The situation now is different. The situation is how we operationalize it. But that's one way of trying to become independent, so that we're able to be, we are affiliated to NBI in our operations. How can we be on our own so that we're able to be independent?
GWP Eastern Africa Secretariat looks forward to the future with passion and determination to deliver towards water secure and climate resilient region. So what would you advise us?
So GWP Eastern Africa, one of the key things it needs to look at critically is to see how best governments can be supported in their development efforts to exploit the waters in the region more sustainably.
As an organization has been recognized by the fact of its involvement in IWM. It is still unique, by the way. It might still be the only one that is really earmarked to that. And that's a point that you should use to strengthen GWP.